Oh, the many things I can say about swallowing evaluations, and I will. Hello and welcome to another video. I'm the SLP Peep, and for the month of October 2021, we are talking about dysphagia. If you are new here, I am one of many SLP Peeps. Any SLP is a peep. And I am here to explain, have fun, and talk about different aspects about SLP, speech language pathology, life. This month we are diving into the world of dysphagia or swallowing disorders. So if you like learning about how we eat, what we eat, and the problems people can have with eating, stay tuned. If you haven't already, please hit subscribe, and if you want to, like this as well. Okay, so evaluations with dysphagia, how exactly do they come about? Usually speaking, what first happens is the doctor sends an order out that says that a person needs to get a swallowing evaluation done. An order basically meaning the doctor says it needs to be done and somebody better do it. That's great! There are normally 3 ways to do this. 2 good ways to do it. The last one is anyone can really do it, and it doesn't really qualify for an evaluation, even though the word evaluation is in the name of it, but we're gonna let that be for a moment. The first thing we're gonna talk about is fees. Not the fees as in what you have to pay at a fine. Fees, F-E-E-S, stands for Flexible Endoscopic Evaluation of Swallowing. The second is MBS, which stands for Modified Barium Swallow. Both have their pros and cons, so let's talk about the 2. We're mainly going to go over the difference between fees and MBS. Fees sees an interesting fair bit. Now, for me to explain how it's done, I'm going to need a volunteer. This is my volunteer. This may or may not be a shoelace that's still attached to a shoe. But this is a better example for a fee camera. For fees, there's a camera attached to the end of the shoestring that is flexible so it can go in your nose. Believe it or not, this is going in your nose. What the SLP or whoever is conducting the fees will typically do is first go right outside of your nose, check around, make sure that it can go in. Now this goes in. This is a potato head. It doesn't have a hole, so I'm going to put it to the side. It goes in, checks things out. Typically speaking, my other hand is actually, one hand is usually in front, the other one is guiding the fees in. The fees camera gets to see the velopharyngeal port. This is what blocks the nasal cavity from the oral cavity. We get a good look at it, and if you have a terrific SLP or clinician that's conducting this, you won't even know that it's going past it. Now, if you ever had food or a drink squirt out of your nose, know this. That is worse than the fees. I've had soda come out of my nose before and it burned for hours. The worst a fees ever felt for me was it just felt like I might have had pasta stuck. And it didn't burn. It just felt weird, which went away after I drank quite a bit of water. Don't ask me, water's the miracle liquid of all time. Other than that, I am so sorry that you had food or water squirt out of your nose. That's no bueno. So when the camera goes past your velopharyngeal port, it gets to look down at your throat. We're actually going backwards of when food or drinks come out of your nose. This little camera gets to look down at your vocal folds. We get to see what's moving, how wide things open, if anything spills back there really quickly, and where exactly it gets held. Now this video is not my own. This video is from SLPMedSpeech. They have a video. I am shortening it to basically the point that I want it. You will see colored liquid come in. There's a reason for this. Water is clear. It's really hard to see on a fees. And we can't really tell the difference between water and natural saliva. We don't like clear water in these evaluations. So what do? We tend to color our water. And anything else that we have you to eat or drink while we do this. Common colors that we do are green and blue, not yellow because that can be pretty hard to see sometimes, and definitely not red. If you want to freak out a professor and you're a student, do red. They will freak out. Now, if you are squeamish, you may want to skip to a future time slot. I will post it on the video card that's coming after this for where you want to skip to. Fees are done in color. And if you don't like looking at essentially the inside of the human body, you're going to want to skip forward. If you want to see something that's kind of gross but kind of cool, stick around. So that was fees. Here is an MBS. MBS again means modified barium swallow. What's basically done, where's my volunteer? Someone gets nice and comfortable and we take a video of them from the side. Not just any kind of video, it's like an X-ray video. We get to see where the bones are, we get to see the teeth, we get to see where the trachea is, the esophagus is, when it has modified barium in it. We get to see the liquid and the food, how it goes down. Now this video is from Ianessa Humbert. I'm hoping I pronounced that right. If I'm not, I'm so sorry. In this video, she will show a safe swallow and a not so safe swallow. I'll explain afterwards. If you get squeamish, so in that first video, we got to see that the swallow went in the mouth, it went down the back tube, so to speak. That's the safer swallow because it goes straight to the esophagus, into the stomach, and voila, no threat to the lungs. The second swallow was quite different. And then second picture, there was a lot going on. Some of it kind of escaped, and in the beginning it went to the trachea, and then some of it just fell in. There's a lot going on with that one. So on the fees, we may be able to see part of that, but not all of it. And on the MBS, we got to see exactly when it happens, when penetration and aspiration happens. Now, these are how we examine swallows on people through the fees and the MBS. It is best if we do them together. Generally speaking, we only do one or the other, and depending on the equipment available, depends on which one we pick. There are pros and cons for each, such as for the fees, we don't actually see the swallow itself, but we can get a lot more information about the tissue matter around the throat. And not only that, but if there is residue, we can see, is it on the left side, the right side, the back, the front? We can pinpoint where the residue actually is. The MBS gives us a very clear picture of what's going on from the sideways cut. If someone has a medical condition where they cannot get an X-ray done, we cannot do an MBS. For the question of the day, what are some questions that you have about dysphagia? Let me know down below. Have yourself a terrific day, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye. There's a beep going on, and I don't know where it is. Flexible endoscopic evaluation of swallowing. Fees meaning the flexible, and I'm not even gonna, I have to read this. This is a stand-in for a fee, which actually this is a really horrible example for fees because fleas is fleas. Some people like blue milk, some people like green milk. I don't like milk.